Hello, Uganda and beyond. Welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Byaruhanga. And now let's go to our first story. The world's eyes remain fixed on the Vatican, where the Papal Conclave has entered its second day without electing a new pope to succeed the late Pope Francis. Now in Rome, tensions and prayer continue to fill St. Peter's Square as black smoke once again rose from the Sistine Chapel chimney late Wednesday evening. Let's see this report.
The smoke, seen around 9:05 p.m. local time, signaled that no candidate among the 133 cardinal electors had secured the required two-thirds majority, 89 votes, to become the next pope. This 2025 conclave is historic for both its size and diversity. The College of Cardinals includes representatives from more than 70 countries, reflecting the growing global presence of the Catholic Church. Of the 133 electors, 108 were appointed by Pope Francis, increasing the likelihood that his progressive vision may shape the Church's future. Yet, unity on a single candidate has so far proved elusive.
Al massimo possibilità di dire anche noi occidentali per molti.
Among the frontrunners are Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, a respected voice on economic and climate justice, and Cardinal Luis Antonio Tego of the Philippines, known for his inclusive pastoral style and closeness to Pope Francis. Also mentioned in some circles is Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich of Luxembourg, a key figure in the Synod on synodality.
Con l'Assemblea dei Credenti.
The cardinals are allowed up to 4 rounds of voting each day. They remain completely cut off from external contact, no phones, no internet, as they stay in Casa Santa Marta and assemble in the Sistine Chapel under strict secrecy. In St. Peter's Square, the mood is one of quiet anticipation. Tens of thousands of pilgrims, clergy and tourists are gathered, eyes fixed on the chimney that will eventually release the white smoke, signifying a new pope has been chosen.
Omnem sanctificationem compleret.
Historically, the length of papal elections has varied widely. The shortest conclave, in 1503, lasted only a few hours. The longest, between 1268 and 1271, stretched nearly 3 years due to deep divisions within the Church. As day 2 ends without a decision, the world continues to watch and wait for the next pope. Maureen Babidie for UBC.
Thank you, Maureen, for that report. We are still talking Pope. Now, the world's eyes are on Vatican City as the Catholic Church prepares to elect a new pope. Now, the Papal Conclave, rooted in centuries of tradition, formally began yesterday, May 7th, inside the Sistine Chapel. Now, this follows the peaceful passing of Pope Francis on Easter Monday at the age of 88. Let's see more details of this.
The conclave officially commenced this Wednesday, exactly 16 days after Pope Francis' death, in line with Vatican tradition. The cardinal electors began the day with a solemn mass before entering strict seclusion, surrendering all communication devices and taking bind oaths of secrecy.
The command echoes, the great doors unlock. Conclave. This is the conclave. Total isolation. No phones, no news, just the cardinals. Guided, they believe, by the Holy Spirit.
For more than 8 centuries, this sacred process has remained virtually unchanged, taking place behind locked doors, grounded in prayer, tradition, and the casting of sacred ballots.
Everybody here is bound by secrecy. The cooks, the cleaning staff, and especially the cardinals themselves, to protect the sanctity and integrity of what is about to happen.
The Electoral College, made up of 133 cardinals under the age of 80, must reach a 2/3 plus 1 majority to elect the next pope. Voting starts with 1 round on the first day, followed by up to 4 ballots daily. Should 3 days pass without consensus, the process is paused for a day of prayer and informal dialogue among the cardinals. This rule was born out of history, the longest conclave held from 1268 to 1271 in Vatican, Italy, lasted nearly 3 years due to political deadlock. The stalemate prompted local authorities to lock the cardinals in, cut their food supply, and even remove the roof, all to force a decision.
Because when the last conclave was on the go, or the meetings before the conclave, it was made very clear that their expectation of the cardinals was that the Pope is going to lead the Church in a process of renewal. So I'd imagine that this time people will say, does this man fit that category of renewing the Church, or is he going to take us backwards or whatever?
This ordeal led Pope Gregory X, once elected, to implement strict conclave rules under the 1274 decree Ubi Periculum to prevent such drawn-out elections. In recent times, conclave have moved much faster. Pope Francis was elected after just 5 ballots in 2 days in 2013. Vatican analysts, including Cruise editor John Allen, predict a similarly swift decision, this time possibly before week's end.
Inside is that each of the cardinals writes on a slip of paper which says in Latin something along the lines, I choose as Pope so-and-so. They write it down in their own handwriting, and they are encouraged to masquerade their handwriting. Then these votes are counted, and if there are enough, a new Pope has been elected.
Among notable voices is Swedish Cardinal Anders Abrolius, attending his first conclave and calling for a church that is both inclusive and faithful. At the same time, traditionalist voices such as German Cardinal Gerhard Moller continue to uphold conservative doctrine, illustrating the ideological spectrum within the College of Cardinals. As the world watches, in anticipation, the 2025 conclave proceeds, rich in tradition, gravity, and global significance, moving steadily towards revealing the next successor of St. Peter and Pope Francis. Byaruhanga, UBC.
Now, away from the Pope, let's go to Kamuli. Now, the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Community Affairs rather, Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, has threatened to mobilize residents of Kamuli district to invade the government-run Kasorwe stock farm over alleged mismanagement. Now, while representing Vice President Jessica Alupo, the launch of the chili farming initiative in Busoga, Kadaga expressed frustration, saying that the farm is not benefiting the community, contrary to the goals of NAGRIC to fight poverty in the region. Let's see more of this report.
The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Community Affairs, Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, has accused the Ministry of Agriculture of withholding animals like cows and pigs that are meant for community benefit under the Kasolwe Stock Farm project. She further criticized the ministry for tribal discrimination, stating that local residents are being excluded from employment opportunities at the farm despite policy provisions for community inclusion. Kadaga also revealed that her request for 11 tractors to support farmers in her constituency was ignored. Instead, the ministry invited outsiders to officiate their launch.
Yakubira ba heritage chiefs bange bonabona atisa ko zira musala otyama ntyama bugwe tuli munjira iwo tyama ndibona tuli munjira nange mbakali yawo tukwinda ko buna ko bakuti handing over.
She added that livestock was unfairly distributed among ministry officials, and when she raised the issue in cabinet, they responded by sending substandard breeding animals to pacify the complaints.
When I am back from cabinet, it's a serious issue, by the way.
Representing the Vice President, Kadaga pledged to support Busoga leaders under their umbrella organization, the Busoga Consortium, in effort to eradicate poverty by promoting chili farming. She noted that there is a ready export market for chili, especially in Asia.
According to Chinese experts, a farmer is able to earn over 15 million from 1 acre of chili in a year. This underscores the capacity of Chile to contribute to the wealth creation of the household and has significantly contribute to the elevation of people out of poverty in line with the President's 4-acre model. As we launch this project today, I'm happy to know that this intervention is come to the base of local existing strengths and development potential of Busoga sub-region.
The chili farming initiative is being implemented by the Greater Kamuli Farmers Cooperative Society under the Busoga Consortium with support from the Chinese Embassy in Uganda. The executive director of the Busoga Consortium, Anthony Muller, hailed the Chinese Embassy for partnering with the Uganda government in poverty alleviation efforts.
This is because of the demonstrated economic viability of chili to drive poverty out of our households and catalyze the actualization of the village agriculture model targets, which also are in tandem with the parish development model agenda.
He revealed that chili is now being exported to China at a favorable price of 3,000 shillings per kilogram.
Thank you, Farid Anamfuka, for that report. Now, let's go to our next story. The Ugandan biochemist, Dr. Mathias Magola, has been awarded the 2025 African Excellence and Personality Award, a prestigious continental honor recognizing him of his outstanding contributions to science, medicine, and economic transformation. Now, Dr. Magola, the founder and managing director of Day Biopharma Limited in Matuga, Wakiso district, was celebrated at a high-level ceremony in Accra, Ghana, organized by the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs Secretariat. Let's see more of this report.
And Managing Director of Day Biopharma Limited, based in Matuga, Wakiso District, Dr. Mathias Magola, was recognized for championing African-led innovations in mRNA therapies, cancer treatment, and advanced biologics, all aimed at boosting the continent's capacity for self-sustaining healthcare solutions. He is currently spearheading the construction of Africa's first $1.1 billion pharmaceutical manufacturing facility, which will produce mRNA vaccines and therapeutic proteins.
This facility, under the good leadership of our president, is tapping into that technology to make these products so that we can treat our people.
With over 100 patents registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Dr. Magola's innovations target a wide range of diseases, including cancer, HIV, Alzheimer's, malaria, tuberculosis, and sickle cell disease.
I can guarantee Ugandans that for the first time God has heard our prayer. We now have the technology. to make most of the things that we can gain sell to the rest of the world. And that's how the country is going to develop. So we are going to make for you vaccines that you have been importing 100%. We are going to make for you drugs that you've just been dreaming about, like biological drugs. We are going to make for you drugs that have never been made in Africa.
President Yoweri Museveni pledged full government support for Dr. Magola's work, including fast-tracking the approval and licensing of locally developed vaccines. The latest recognition adds to Dr. Magola's growing list of international accolades, including the 2025 Ratna Pharma Award in India and the 2024 International Molecular Biologist Award.
And we are talking about more than 6 billion people around the world cannot afford those drugs. But I did this research and published it in a peer-reviewed journal in the US and Europe. And it was selected the best research in the world, and we won that award. Why? Because I'm telling people, you convert, this is the award I'm talking about. I won this in the US. The other way, last week we won this from India. These are scientists. Who say now? Thirdly, in the US, I was nominated and confirmed a full member of that society. That brings world top scientists together. So with all this, we are not only touching lives in Africa, we are touching lives.
Dr. Matthias Magola stands out as a leading force in Africa's scientific and medical innovations landscape. Mary Namkose, Gracious Habimana, UBC News.
Thank you, Mary, for that report. Now, let's go and talk coffee. Civil society organizations and the agricultural stakeholders have convened to address urgent concerns over Uganda's coffee sector reforms and the country's readiness to comply with the European Union deforestation regulation. Failure to comply with the EU's new rules could cost Uganda over $1.14 billion annually, with 60% of Uganda's coffee exports currently destined for the European market. Let's see this story in detail.
Million Ugandan households and contributes about 30% of the nation's foreign exchange earnings. With about 239 days left before the compliance deadline, sector players are urging government to increase funding to the coffee subsector in the upcoming national budget. Julian Amanya, Program Coordinator of Food Rights Alliance, said the meeting was meant to reflect on Uganda's coffee future amid global regulatory shifts.
Around 240 days for Uganda to comply to the European Union deforestation regulations, and as stakeholders would like to know how ready are we for Uganda and our farmers to comply all those regulations by European Union and for them to be able to enjoy freely the market.
A commissioner at the Ministry of Agriculture and More Industry and Fisheries, Herbert Musimenta, assured farmers that Uganda's coffee market will remain stable, confirming the country's preparedness to meet international standards.
We have other markets for coffee and other products. We've already opened an axis in Asia, the Middle East and China. Specifically, they require huge quantities of coffee. So it's incumbent upon the private sector to explore these markets.
He also emphasized that the ongoing registration of coffee farmers is not linked to taxation and that over 30% of farmers have already been registered. However, some farmers called for increased sensitization on the process.
The European Union requires Uganda to submit the production areas of where the coffee is coming from with clear traceability. So this has nothing to do with tax.
There are few. In fact, if you went to the grassroots, very few women know about this ongoing registration and what it entails, because there has not been enough or effective sensitization about what does it entail exactly.
Kimanya Kabonero MP Dr. Abed Wanika, a member of Parliament's agriculture sector, criticized the limited budget allocation to the sector.
When they removed the UCDA, and they took the operations into the ministry, we felt that there would be more money into the coffee subsector. But the money which they are proposed there, 15 billion for seedlings, yet we have 49 billion in terms of areas for seedlings. We don't see government coming out deliberately to improve production and to improve productivity.
Cayenne Faith, Andrew Sebia for Ubc.
Thank you, Cayenne and Andrew Sebida, for that report. Now let's go to our next story. The Inter-University Platform has called for collective research efforts to address national and regional challenges. Now academicians gathered in Kampala to discuss emerging trends that demand equitable collaboration in research. Let's see the details.
Universities in the global north and south have become critical for knowledge exchange, capacity building, and tackling global challenges. These collaborations help strengthen research capabilities, especially in resource-limited institutions.
We are looking at the trends, the insights, and how we can collaborate together amidst the challenges we are facing as countries in the global south.
The Future is Global program is designed to enhance collaboration between northern and southern universities. It supports capacity building and promotes equitable research initiatives.
Governments don't have enough money for research, and some of the equipment in terms of research, some of the equipment you'll find that our researchers have to go to different universities to look for better labs. So once we are into meaningful collaborations, some of these gaps can be bridged through meaningful collaborations.
The program also aims to facilitate regional research and information sharing for development.
So the main purpose of collaboration then is to create an opportunity so that students can be exposed, to other environments, to how things are done out there, so that then they can be able to learn more and integrate that into their learning process.
Along the way, you may run out of funding, but if you collaborated with the northern universities, it may be a little simpler for us to do that.
Okay. Ultimately, the initiative seeks to foster strategic, mutually beneficial partnerships that drive innovation and academic excellence across global regions.
Yes,
Now let's go to the next story. Now, the National Identification and Registration Authority has hosted the 2025 schools debate at Chitante Secondary School. The event is part of NIRA's nationwide campaign to raise awareness among young people about the importance of national registration. Officials say engaging students at an early stage fosters a culture of civic responsibility and encourages future participation in the national ID registration process. Now, the climax of the competition, Mbale Secondary School and Kitante Secondary School were crowned winners. Let's see more of this report.
Have a name. This particular event focused on mass enrollment of our young people to get a NIN. So the biggest question is, you have a name, but do you have a NIN? A NIN is our national identification number. And the organization targeted reaching out to all regions in Uganda, and we've been able to successfully pull off the event by ensuring that we educate our young children and our young generation about the importance of registering with NIRA, but also the importance of their identity. Because as we are all aware, the young generation struggles with an identity crisis around the ages of 12 to 18.
I didn't really see the use of a national identification number. I had one, but I didn't really care whether it was there or not. But personally, I finally understand how I'm privileged to have it and why I should have it. Personally, I'm very happy that, first of all, the government has taken this nearer to schools and they're registering us from the course as registered from school. And personally, finally, we can give out the message to those who are like me, who are like what I used to be.
So I am the public speech winner, and so far this NERA debate and public speech, poetry, it has really taught me so much more than I actually came here to know, because I was actually not going to attend, but then my mom pushed for it, and of that I really thank her for it. Then continuously throughout the whole session, throughout all the rounds, not only was I able to make friends, but I was also able to research more about things that I actually did not know. I was able to get the benefits and the problems that are associated with using a national ID, and I'm able to see that it is actually something that every citizen belonging to Uganda or any other country really needs to acquire and use in their daily life.
That we met, and I believe it was for the best, because we now have information that we can use to tell other people, our other peers. We can be able to be in position to give sensitization, and I believe this is a very good strategy that government has come up with, and I'm very hopeful and sure that the future will be bright.
Each of you, please give yourself a
Viewers, UBC Lunchtime News takes a short break, and please don't touch your remote.
Big think about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo de super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpola in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Mikulu Business Expo kumipira 25 ine komyewo wakati wena zomezi mwenda paka 11 Mei Lugugu Uma Showgrounds event service providers na business endala zonna mwandu bademwe yuna Mikulu Business Expo kumipira 25 emidala jiri kumitwalo nkaga ino bronze mitwalo chinana ku silver ate gold yakakadde kalamba kugata platinum yakamuchi tundu okuyingira Mikulu Business Expo kumipira 25 kwa 15 zokka kati wasasula omudala obosasulide ekifo tenti emeza entebe bbiri kwogata amasanyalaze ne security okumanya ebisingawo kuba 0770 mukaga 20 292 oba 0770 mukaga 20 292 biteddwa mu Sente Photogenics Limited, Lean Events, Crane Performers, Chabasa Pharma, BBS Telefina, UBC, Rosie Roots, City Bridals, Joyce Sonko Textiles, Channel Ladies Choice, Njuvu Estates, Junico Rio Deco, Victory Travel Center, Tender Gardens, Eco Farm Pharmacy, Mikolo Magazine, ne Pepsi.
We used to run, but most of the time we were running away from something. But nowadays, everything seems different. People still run, but they are running towards something. They run to test their limits, to break new records. And when we do it right, we inspire others.
The inaugural Coffee Marathon, uplifting rural coffee women, 24th May at Africa Coffee Park, Ntungamo.
Come, let us run.
To register, dial *217 *413 #. Choose option 4. Or scan the event QR code, or visit the website to choose the race options. Brought to you by Inspire Africa Group.
Here just searching, still deciding, what am I watching?
We are what?
Unstoppable.
We are what?
Unstoppable. I'm at my business, enjoying success, not just address, all of our progress.
We are what?
Unstoppable.
We are what?
Unstoppable. That was to it. With what internet? 4K HD, non-stop action.
We are what?
Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Get it gone. With MTN. We are what? Unstoppable.
With you and MTN together, our progress is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable.
Viewers, welcome back from that short break. Now let's talk business. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives has embarked on a national trade policy review exercise with an aim of gathering stakeholders' views regarding the trade policy, which was last reviewed in 2007. Now, the review exercise was kicked off from the Eastern region in Mbale City and is expected to traverse the entire country. Let's see the details.
So there's need to streamline the mandate. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Cooperatives.
When the farmers are organized, it is better.
All these are aimed to introducing delays and improving cargo security.
Maybe we can proceed.
I think you agree that there is need for legal clarity.
What was affected by the what? The RAPEX.
Our national trade policy was formed in 2007, way back. So it has been overtaken by events. So as government, when we draft these policies, they have what we call expiry dates or expiry time periods. So our trade policy has been long overdue to review it. The reason we are here in Mbale, because before we review any policy, we have to undertake what we call consultative meetings with stakeholders, and our stakeholders are the people in these regions. Uganda has gone through what we call deeper integration as a member state of the EAC. So 2007, when the policy was formed,
very low costs, and they believe that producers here are missing out and they are losing out on profits due to these low costs. Also, the other issues raised related to standards in relation to UNBS and its reach in these regions. Most people submitted that when they apply, they don't get feedback, and sometimes they are told that there is no capacity and or resources to have these standards done by UNBS.
So following a recent review that was done, we found that the policy really needed to be updated since it's long overdue. This new policy that is being reviewed and updated will ensure that Uganda is more competitive and the exports coming in from Uganda will take advantage of leveraging our expertise in trade facilitation, but also concentrating more in areas of digitalization of trade, including.
Now, a new poverty eradication model known as the Graduation Community of Practice has been launched in Uganda to support vulnerable populations in escaping extreme poverty. The model was officially launched in Kampala by Timothy Lubanga, Commissioner for Monitoring and Evaluation in the Office of the Prime Minister, who expressed optimism that it will be integrated with other government programs to uplift the poorest communities in the communities. We have the details.
Commissioner Timothy Lubanga launched the model under the theme Unlocking the Potential of the Ultra-Poor through the graduation approach.
The model being implemented and spearheaded by BRAC, AVC and the other partners is very important for government because it has tested lessons that have proven effective in uplifting poor people out of poverty. In terms of the interventions they deliver, they offer a whole-round approach to tackling poverty by having different components all addressed and synchronized, delivered at different times.
Okay, let's go to our next story. Now, the consumption of illicit alcohol has risen from 61% in 2015 to 65% in 2004. Now, behind these statistics are real lives, families torn apart by addiction, disease, and social harm. Health clinics are being overwhelmed in communities and they are struggling. Let's see details of this report.
The toll on the healthcare system and communities is enormous. This has prompted the formation of the Coalition Against Illicit Alcohol, Uganda, and National Alliance of Public Health experts, educators, civil society leaders, and local communities. Their mission is to raise awareness about the dangers of illicit alcohol.
Is when all of us are enforcers of these laws, when they are put in place, or when they are prescribed, or when they are advised, or when they are proposed, or when they are enacted. And the moment we do not, who is the loser? We are all the losers. And who is government? We are all government.
Coalition Against Illicit Alcohol Uganda is promoting smarter evidence-based regulation, empowering communities to make safer choices, and driving change at both national and local levels.
Now from illicit alcohol, let's talk insurance. First Insurance Company Limited has officially rebranded to Mirai General Insurance. Now the transformation aims to strengthen competitiveness in the evolving insurance market while setting new benchmarks in innovation, global standards, and customer-centered service delivery. Now the rebrand comes at a critical time as Uganda's insurance sector pushes for greater market penetration and improved accessibility. Now Mirai General Insurance pledges to offer service beyond expectations through enhanced digital platforms, a wider range of products, and an expanded national presence. Let's see details.
Putting on down, but with the re-energized people, with the re-energized services, and everything is new. It's not just the name.
The company's name, it's a first insurance company in Uganda. So that is the reason behind this name. So when we acquired this company, we want to bring in new energy to the team, to the stakeholders, all these people involved. So we did a lot of research and we put a lot of efforts and thought process into this brand Mirai. So this was presented in the event also, the reason behind this brand. Mirai, we want to make it global and also local. So think global, act local. That is the agenda. So we want to bring in new energy, new strength to the team. And also we want to make this company into part of the global system, Pride Group system. So Mirai will not only operate in Uganda, subsequently it will have offices in Kenya and whole East Africa and other parts of the world. So ultimate goal is to have Mirai is a global insurance company.
Now let's talk sports. After 9 rounds of intense action, the 2025 Father Grimm's National Schools Chess Championship has concluded at Our Lady of Africa School in Inamiryango. Over 1,000 players from 226 schools took part in the 2025 Father Grimm's National Schools Chess Championships. Let's see the details.
Over 1,000 players from 226 schools took part in the 2025 Father Grimes National Schools Chess Championship, which was hosted in grand style at Our Lady of Africa School in Namiryango.
We are so excited. We appreciate the Federation for having chosen our school, Our Lady of Africa ISS in Namiryango, to host 2025 chess national competitions.
Organizers praised the championship, played in the Swiss format, for revealing the technical prowess of Uganda's young chess talents, many of whom showed promise for the future.
Been a great improvement in the level of play, as evidenced by the number of new teams that have come on the block, and they have showcased this strength as you have been seeing the games live.
The tournament featured 4 main categories: secondary open, secondary girls, primary open and primary girls.
In the open, where we have 100 teams, open, that's where the boys play or the girls who wish to participate against the men. And in other categories, the competition is equally stiff because we have a record turn-up of 226 teams.
In the highly competitive secondary open category, which attracted 487 participants from 100 schools, St. Henry's College Chitovu Team A emerged champions, dethroning defending champions St. Mary's College Chisubi, which settled for silver. Caltech Academy Makere B took bronze, led by standout players Osborne Tulinawe, Joseph Lotimong and Darren Mulunji. St. Mary's College Chitovu impressed with 7 wins and 2 draws, remaining unbeaten throughout the event. In the secondary girls category, which featured 264 players from 55 schools, St. Andrew Kagwa Gombe Kawala defended its title. Wampeon Take came second, while Gayaza High School Team A claimed bronze.
Going into the university, players who are in senior 6, when they participate in this competition, they get certificates, and when they are missing just a few points to qualify for courses, they base on that, those 4 points, and they get into the university and do the courses they desire.
The tournament drew competition from traditional powerhouses such as Wanyangi Girls, which, despite missing out on podium finishes, had commendable individual performances.
I've learned what strategy means. I have learned to think ahead and what decision making means. Because in chess is not only a game. Chess is a game that applies in real life. It does not mean that it's only about the board, but it's also put in society. Every piece matters, which means in daily life that each and everything that you do truly matters and you have to plan for it.
We performed exceptionally well, basing on the standards of the teams we've met.
There was also several debutant schools, notably St. Cyprian High School Chabakade, that partook of this championship and finished 38th in the secondary open category. In the primary open category, Sister Mariam Dagan Schools Team A and Team B finished first and second respectively, with Peak Primary School Peniel Kampala taking 3rd place.
I have 4 points. I pray that our school can go for the national schools competition at USA. I also encourage those who have failed to continue, not to give up, not to lose hope. Like this, it has helped me till.
Now, viewers, UBC Lunchtime News has come to an end, and please don't forget to be part of our other bulletins, that is at 6:30 Habari, UBC Rero at 7, and UBC Tonight, that is both at 8 and 10. I am Brian Tumwine Byaruhanga. Goodbye and God bless Uganda.